You're listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by. On the morning shift.
Anything
could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh, glad to be here with you. We're going to have a great show today. We've had a viral post on our Facebook feed yesterday, and all I did was, I was just wondering what was happening with those cameras that were supposed to be going up in the city. They were supposed to be up in December, and then they were delayed. No, it was supposed to go up in November, delayed to December, and then we had Mike Parent on, and he was saying January's come and gone. We're almost done February. What are going on with these speed cameras? So I just did a little Google search, and I found an article in Elliott Lake Today by Sudbury.com's Tyler Clark talking about delaying of the speed cameras, and then from there, I said, well, I'm going to go on the city's website, or there's also a link to the city's website on this program that we have that boggled my mind. Anyways, we're going to unpack it. We have a Nick Gervais going to be joining us momentarily. We're going to be talking about that, the whole thing with how Sudbury is going to be handling the idea of people speeding, and it's just weird. It's kind of draconian. We'll unpack it, but the idea is they want people in neighborhoods to sign up for this program where they're gonna get a radar gun from the city, and it's a partnership between the city and Greater Sudbury Police, and people kind of go pick up a radar gun. They sit on their front porch, and they point the radar on their street at passersby, and they record their speed. And also, they take down their license plate as they're going by. And so it's like citizens speed control using radar. Anyways, that's going to be pretty much take the entire show of a discussion. So if that's something that interests you, stick around. It's going to be interesting. And then we'll talk about the speed cameras as well. What the latest is that we know about them anyways. There's a bit. Anyways, we don't know how long they're going to be delayed, or even if they're even going to happen now. That's what, I'm surmising that they might not even happen, but I don't know. We'll talk about that with Nick Gervais. We'll have weather, sports. She'll join us momentarily. Your comments and more on the show. Stick around. It's going to be a great show today. Lots to come, and it'll be very entertaining, to say the least. We'll be back right after this. Oh, that was interesting. Okay, well, we're back right now. Sudbury Weather is brought to you by sudburyweather.ca. I'm in my studio today, which I haven't been in probably in over a month. So everything is different here, a little bit different to get used to the whole thing. Currently, it's minus 6 degrees, feels like minus 15. Light snow out there. Today, we can expect flurries ending this morning, then clearing, local blowing snow this morning. The wind will be gusting up to 50, temperature falling to minus 15 this morning, and then steady. So throughout the day, and it'll be minus 25 this afternoon. I can't believe it. Wind chill, minus 12, but it'll feel like minus 25 this afternoon. So getting colder today. Tonight, clear. Wind will be moderate at low of minus 23. Wind chill near minus 27 overnight. Saturday, sunny, wind, mild, minus 28 in the morning, minus 14 in the afternoon. Risk of frostbite there. Look at your long range, minus 8 and sunny on Saturday, minus 1 and sunny, 60% chance, or minus 1, 60% chance of flurries on Sunday. Sunny and -2 on Monday with a high of +2. Look at these temperatures. Up and down all around. 60% chance of showers now on Tuesday with a high of 6. And then the following day, -6 is your high with a 60% chance of flurries. And then -5 and mix of sun and cloud on Thursday. Mixed bag, very weird weather. It is what it is. Look at your satellite. A lot of clouds and then some clearing coming for the sunny days, a couple sunny days ahead. That's your Sudbury weather brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. We'll be back with a little bit of sports, and Nick Gervais, your comments, and much more right after this. Your Sudbury Sports brought to you by SudburySports.ca. It lands on our Sudbury.news website, which aggregates not only news but also sports. Visit SudburySports.ca. Wolves host the Petes tonight in Sudbury. Home game 1 of this week to take on the Peterborough Petes. And it's 7:05 puck drop. Last Friday, the Wolves continued to showcase their talents with a 6-3 win over the Saginaw Spirit in town. On Sunday, the Wolves punched their ticket to the playoffs with a win in Guelph. Peterborough Petes enter Friday's game 9th in the Eastern Conference, so they're not as strong, but they always give Sudbury a hard time. Friday's game is sponsored by CTV, who will be on hand with great prizes and giveaways for lucky fans. Fans are encouraged to visit their table in the lower concourse by the merch shop. For more information, just go to Sudbury Wolves website, SudburyWolves.com. Limited tickets available online at greatersudbury.ca/tickets or in person at the Arena box office. Friday's games are getting quite full, and they're usually can't get, if you want 4 tickets and sit with your friends or family, it's kind of hard to do that these days on a Friday if you don't get your tickets in advance or if you don't have season tickets or season's membership, as they call them now. And following tonight's game, the Wolves hit the road. They take on Mississauga Steelheads on Sunday, February the 25th at 4 p.m. Fans can watch the games OHL live. And there you go. For more information, visit SudburyWolves.com. And switching gears now to the 5, they are also in action coming up back on, a doubleheader this weekend against the same team, the Jamestown Jackals at the Arena. Saturday night's matchup is set to tip off at 7 p.m., followed by Sunday's game at 2 p.m. So Saturday night's affair marks Indigenous Night for the Sudbury Arena to celebrate and honor Indigenous communities and culture. The game is proudly sponsored by Creator's Choice. Fans can visit their table at the lower concourse for more information. And also Sunday afternoon's matchup is Crocs Day. Hey, I could take my Crocs there. And fans are encouraged to don their favorite Crocs. Apparently, I didn't know this, but Crocs come with accessories. Maybe Nick knows more about this. We'll talk to her momentarily about that. So for tickets, you know where to go. You know what to do. Kids are always $10 all season long. So get your kiddies to come on out. It's not that expensive. That's your Sudbury Sports, brought to you by SudburySports.ca. We'll be back. And Nick Gervais, your comments, much more right after this. Stay tuned. We'll be talking about the Sudbury's answer to trying to deal with people driving faster than the speed limit in Greater Sudbury. So we'll have that conversation. It's going to be an interesting one. And if you're not from Sudbury, hopefully something like this, spoiler alert, isn't going to come to your town. And if it does, at least you'll have a little heads up before it does. We'll be back right after this. Okay, and we do have with us on standby and now not standby. And Nick Gervais is here. How are you doing this morning, Nick?
I'm good. I'm good.
I like your new background. I can actually read your "You Belong Here" behind. What did you do? Just turn it down a bit, or what happened?
No, I had to buy a dimmer. I plugged it into a dimmer and then dimmed it all the way down. And I got this new mic because I always wear black, but I don't like that you don't see my mic, so I got a new mic.
I don't like that you don't see my mic. Yeah, I guess mic is part of a brand. If you have a podcast or whatever, we do notice people's mics. It is a weird thing, right?
Exactly. I know. I see your mic. I'm like, oh, I used to have this mic, but it was black. See, that's lame.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
No, I'm switching. I like this guy. I switched to the Yeti Blue.
Yeah. Just to let you know, probably the sound on the old mic was a little more vibrant or whatever. Sometimes,
really?
Yeah, it is. In my headphones this time, yes, but I'm at the different studio today too, so that could be affecting possibly the sound in my ears from your mic through this system here. Anyways, so I don't want to wait till I get to the other studio and you're on as well. I'll be able to give you a better idea then. Oh, you got two mics going. Oh, you're switching mics. Look at that.
Is it better?
I think so.
Oh, darn. You know what? I can hook up the white mic to my... No, that doesn't change anything.
No, it just changes where it is. It doesn't change the mechanics of the mic itself. But anyways, yeah, that sounds better. So
better?
Yeah. Maybe you can just paint it white or something.
Well, this is just... I could take this thing off if I could find a scrunchie that's white.
You can. On Amazon, for sure.
Well, what is that called? A microphone cover.
Microphone cover, for sure.
All right, guys. I will look into that. But there's some crazy things to talk about, but lots of people are on.
I know there's
30
tons.
people on already.
Yeah.
Lots of comments.
Okay. Did you want to go through the comments? You want me to do that?
Yeah,
They're just loading up on my end.
Yeah, so Belinda says, good morning. Instead of buying children all the things you never had, teach them all the things you never taught. You were never taught. Materials were out, but knowledge stays. Good morning from Collingwood. Liette, good morning. Noella, we need a count of how many tickets people are getting from the camera monitors. Brian Poulet, good morning. Sudbury campers. Gosia Sred, hello, everyone. Mike Parra is on. Good morning, friends. Vin Scott, your studio camera is considerably noticeably higher quality. Jean Johnson, love this show. Good morning. Pauline Fortin is on. Noella Church Baudouin, using neighbors to snitch on one another reminds me of during the lockdown. Snitch on children going to mom's house. We ain't living in China. Brian Poulet, what the heck is a community speed watch program? What's next? Free crack pipes Fridays. I'm pretty sure that's already a thing. You got to be kidding me. So Noella Church Baudouin says, free work. Denise Stussy says, speed watch program. LGBTQ and Antifa will be sitting by ready. Mike Panayas, this is a program that was launched around 2006 from what I understand. It appears that someone found this on the city's website and promoted it on social media.
No, what happened was, thanks for that, Mike. So what happened was I was searching for what was happening with the cameras, speed cameras that were supposed to be up in November and then December and then January. And now we're done in February. So I didn't know what was going on. So I was just basically doing a little search and then that came up in the search. So the city has that in Google on the search under speed cameras. And so it went to the city's official website. So I basically put that out there and I said, what do you think about this program? So promoting it, no, but putting it out there, asking people what they think about it, because it's on the city's official website, but the city's speed camera is not on the city's official website. So we have cameras that are about to be launched, and we don't even have any information about that on our official city website. But we do have the information about this speed watch program. So I was like, this is the first time hearing about this. So we have a little bit of feedback, Nick. I don't know if you have another device on or something. There's a little bit of delay now.
Oh, weird. Is it still delayed?
Hello?
No. Hello?
Not really, no. Okay, that's good.
Okay, it was when my camera was touching the computer.
That's interesting for sure. So yes, that's what happened. So I just basically wanted to find out what's going on. If you do have an update, Mike, for us on the speed cameras, there's nothing on the website of the city about that.
I'm curious to know when they posted this article, which I'm noticing that on this article about the Speedwatch program on the Sudbury, Greater Sudbury, it doesn't say when this was posted. Like there should be a date on their articles.
Oh, do you mean the one that's in Elliott Lake?
No. Right now I see Speed Watch, Surveillance Vitesse. Speed Watch is an initiative, but they're not saying when was this written.
And that's on their website?
This is on their website.
Yeah, so websites not necessarily, if it's just a city program, they're just kind of informing people about the city initiatives that they have. And that's one of them, right? So maybe I'll call that up right now just so people can see what we're looking at. I'll put it on full screen for everybody. So again, in searching for the actual speed cameras and wondering when they're coming, because I drive in Greater Sudbury, I want to know where these speed cameras are, when they're here. There doesn't seem to be much in terms of letting people know about them. And I seem to think it's a big deal. So in looking for it, there was nothing. So this is what the city's website looks like. When you go to traffic management and road safety, right? So they have the zipper merge, like ways to manage traffic and speeds, right? So they have the zipper merge, which we all know, like it's basically teaching us how to do the zipper, which none of us really know in Sudbury hardly.
I do.
That's good. But most people don't. And so there still needs to be some education on that.
Like, hey guys, while we're having this conversation, Aaron, this is very important information. If there's a lineup of cars and they're not doing the second line, that's up to them. You get in the second line, you drive all the way and you start doing the zipper because this is so freaking annoying. Okay, so when there's a lineup and people are like, oh no, we're all going. No, guys, the zipper helps all of traffic. It's very important.
100%. Yeah, it's important to learn the zipper. And I think as the city grows, we need to learn how to drive according to more traffic, right? It is what it is. So
people just assume that everybody knows what's going on. So if there's a big lineup of cars, people are just waiting behind the lineup, but no one's in the second lane that's completely free. But if everyone would go into the second lane, there'd be less traffic in the back. It makes a difference. It kind of reminds me, Aaron, of women's washroom. There's always lineup in the washroom, and every time I pass the whole line and I go look under the stalls, oh my gosh, these freaking kittens are an issue here. We just made a mess. There's always stalls that aren't being used. No one's paying attention, Aaron. Every time I go in, and I'm like, I walk by, I go, guys, if there's a stall that's open, every single time, and I go in, sure enough, there's 2 stalls always open.
So there's a lineup. I've never. This has never happened with me as a man.
Obviously,
with men's washrooms. So what happens? We have urinals, and then we have the stalls, and so I think all of them would be used up.
Either or.
Yeah. But so you go in, and I guess women have favorite stalls or something they're waiting for. Is that what happens?
No. So sorry. There's these kittens here. So we go to the bathroom. There's a massive lineup. So I just go at the end of the lineup. But what Anik does is that she passes by the whole lineup. I look under the stalls. Women are on their phone. They're not paying attention.
They don't realize.
They don't realize.
Okay. Terrible. They need a bathroom manager.
Well, I just take it upon myself, and then I go into one of the stalls.
There you go. Done.
Sometimes. I tell my daughter to go do it because, like, what are you going to do? Yell at a 6-year-old?
No, you're
really
not.
has to pee, so.
She can go in and look underneath and no one's going to think anything of it.
Exactly. She just goes in a stall. I'm like, you go, girl.
So here's where we found the speed watch surveillance because, again, I was just looking on the city's website for updates. Mike Perrant said they didn't receive any updates yet on this. He's waiting, or they're waiting. Haven't received an update yet on the automated speed enforcement cameras. So there's something weird there, right? Like the city's paying a lot of money to this company and they're saying they're going to deliver on a certain time and they're not delivering, right? So this is I would say, whatever company you're dealing with, why don't you just cancel the contract with them and re-look at all this stuff? Ask for your money back. That's what I would do. Gateway speed limits in residential areas. So we know they've lowered the speed limit in many areas. That used to be 50 to 40 and used to be 40 to 30 in the city. Red light cameras, we're used to that. We know that. If you don't come to a complete stop or you go through a red light and it went yellow and you still go through and it's red light, you're going to get a ticket automated in your mail to you. Traffic calming, so they have different things for that. So I'll just show the picture on that. Never seen this in the city myself, but there is, I guess, ways to do that. And then there's the traffic light signals. They're explaining the different kinds of traffic light signals. And then you can get these posters or signs in your yard that say, watch for children kind of thing. So you can ask the city and get a sign for your yard. And then comes back to the speed watch surveillance. So just for clarification, Mike, I know you mentioned that someone was promoting this. No, it was, again, just trying to find out what was going on with the speed cameras. And in searching for that, was not able to find anything to do with that. But on the Google search page was this particular picture, along with the link to the city's website. So I clicked on it. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard of this before. And voila, there you go. It's here. And let's look through this and let's see what it is. So I shared it on social media. A lot of people are upset with it, and rightfully so, I could see. So Speed Watch is an initiative to reduce speeding on roads through public awareness and community action. Right? How the Speed Watch program works, your role. So you have a role in this. You can borrow a portable radar unit to monitor traffic in your neighborhood for a specific period of time. One person views speed on the radar while another records the speed and license plate numbers of speeding vehicles. You must not, under any circumstance, confront drivers or vehicles. I would say so too. That'd be very, 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 very dangerous. You must return the data and equipment by the study end date, which it does not say when the study started, when it's ending, what it's for. It does say who's involved and how to do it all. And good morning, Dennis. Thanks for being with us. So the city's role here says, let's do that. The city's role is city employees will review the data you collect. In locations where excessive traffic speed is a concern, the city may conduct a follow-up traffic engineering study. If a speeding problem exists, the city will forward all collected information to Greater City Sudbury Police. So is this something that's been going on and people have been doing this, and that's maybe why they're having speed cameras all of a sudden everywhere?
I don't know, but
they
one
don't
thing
exist?
is like, why are we getting the license plate? That's kind of an odd thing. Like, if we're just looking at speed and seeing if speed's a problem, why do we need to know exactly who it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a good question. And why would just citizens have the right to do that? You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of a spying program, if you ask me, right? You're spying on your fellow citizens and whatever. And you made a good comment on the thread yesterday. Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I said, what a great way to bring the community together.
Yeah, it's a great way to bring the community together. Community initiatives from Greater Sudbury. Spy on your neighbors driving by. That's what they said in their
article. Community initiative, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a community initiative. Yeah, to help, I guess, in calming traffic as an initiative for that. But I don't know. you know, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it myself. Is it still going on? Like Mike says, that's something they were doing before. Is it still going on? Why is it still on the website? Well, he says it's yeah. In the comments here, he said that they were doing that a while ago, and why is it's still on the website though, right? So Greater Sudbury Police also have a role in this. Greater Sudbury Police may issue cautionary letters to motorists identified when they take down your license plate number from the Speedwatch volunteers through their license plate numbers. The Greater Sudbury Police Service will schedule and conduct within a reasonable time frame a zero-tolerance speed enforcement campaign in the area identified by Speedwatch volunteers. So again, we noticed over the last couple of years, a lot of speed things going up. Those speed bumps, those things they implant into the asphalt, and, those yellow things there.
Yeah. Yeah, those work.
Yeah.
I don't mind those.
Yeah. I think we already have bad roads anyways, right? So you're not really doing any damage to the
maybe
asphalt.
The road. Yeah.
So bad roads in of themselves are a traffic management solution too, right? Like with all the potholes, that maybe just leave it like that. Just don't do any street work like we've always done. And people can't drive fast with the potholes. So we already have something built in the city, which is great. So anyways, so get started with the Speed Watch program. You can complete the Speed Watch application form and submit it to traffic at greatersudbury.ca. I'm just going to click on this form and see if it's still here. Maybe I'll share it on the screen. See what comes up. So here's the form. Maybe it has more information on the form. So there's the partners, right? You got the police, you got you in the middle, and you got the corporation of the Greater City of Sudbury, all working together to help calm traffic. This application must be completed in full. Form must include full names, addresses, signatures of no less than 10 adults, 18 years of age or over, residing in 10 separate households in the area to be monitored by Speedwatch. A minimum of 2 signatories must be willing to act as lead contacts for the Speedwatch program. These volunteers will be responsible for sign-out care and use of the Speedwatch equipment, communicating with the city employees and Greater Sudbury Police, and coordinating volunteer efforts in the neighborhood. Please indicate on this form whether volunteers will allow access to their driveways and properties for Speedwatch program and or for enforcement purposes.
Dang.
Clearly describe the traffic situation that will be monitored, where the situation occurs, and at what time of the day the situation occurs. Return this application to Traffic of Transportation, City of Greater Sudbury, 1800 Frobisher Street. Office is located, blah, blah, blah. So here you go. There's the application. You're describing everything they just said. There's your name and all that stuff. 10 neighborhood volunteers who are going to participate. So yeah, it is a way to bring the community, your neighborhood together, I guess. You got to go, call around and say, hey, Jim, Charles, Karen.
There's definitely going to be a few Karens in there.
That's why I mentioned that. It's funny. Are you interested in doing this thing? I don't know. It's interesting. So is it still happening? I don't know. Anyways, it's just a lot of people viewing it and sharing it on social media and know it wasn't there to promote it or to do anything other than say, hey, everyone, did you know this was there? That's what social media is for, I guess. So Mike says, I'm not aware of any requests by members of the public for the Speed Watch program. I will inquire and get more info about the frequency of requests and when the last time it was done. So you would think with us paying millions of dollars for these speed cameras to go up, you think that the information from this would have been part of that study saying, speeding's dangerous, right? No, we have local like you said on the show before, Mike, we have local data. You would think this particular program went into that local data, right? So that
you would think, Aaron,
we knew about that.
You would think, but it looks like I just don't have really anything nice to say right now. So my mom's told me not to say it.
Oh, your mom said if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it? That's what moms usually say.
I know. I was going to say, well, how about I just say it? But I'm not saying it, but this is what's going on in my mind. We just have a bunch of delinquents running our city, you know?
Oh, wow. Okay. So again, you wouldn't be the first to criticize. If you look, and anyone on city council can go to Sudbury News and look at the page that I just shared from their own website. That's all I did. I just took one page from a city website and I said, hey, everyone, look at this program. That's it, you know, and you can look at the comments if you want to know what real people think. Sudbury.com did a really great article on the other day about surveys and data and numbers. And we've been taking skewed data from people over the years and making policies based on. So what we'll do is we'll give a survey out there and say, what do you think about traffic in the city? And all the people who hate the way traffic is would go and fill out the survey. Yeah. People that don't care about it don't fill out the survey.
No.
They don't fill. They're like, I'm fine with it. I don't need to fill out a survey. But all the people that are Karens, you know, people that are haters or people that have an issue or the squeaky wheels of the city, they go on and go, they're the keyboard warriors. Oh, I'm going to fill out this survey.
For sure.
I hate the way traffic is.
Gets the oil.
And then the city takes the information from that survey and go, look, 90% of the city hates the way traffic is. Let's go in and do all these things. You know, but that's not the truth. No. The truth is, if you go on Sudbury News Facebook page and you look at the comments, you don't just have haters of this program either. You have people that say, yes, no, it's a good program. So it's not like everyone hates it. But you'll see the real data. You'll see the real percentage of people who think this is a corny, dumb idea compared to the ones that think it's best for us and for our safety. You'll get a really good graph, and you'll hear what they have to say about it as well. If you read the comments, it's really telling about, it's a good litmus test.
It is. And it would be interesting to get real data from everywhere, not just specific. Like, I remember when CBC, okay, it's just a bunch of liberals that watch CBC. So you're only getting an opinion from one type of person. You know, I feel like that's what's happening these days, unless someone finds out like, oh, hey, they're doing this poll and they're saying this is what people want. Go and share that this is not what we want. So then people will go and be like, no, this is not what we want. So I just find that multiple areas need to share a poll so that we get a real data, like a real graph of what people are interested in. But I know that it is not the job of our community to be pinned against each other.
No.
And then finding people in our community to pin other people, you know, like, because you'll know there's that blue Honda that goes by that just drives a little too fast. Well, now this is like more heat, more anger to create between you and these individuals.
I'm going to get that guy. I'm going to catch him. I'm going to get him, get his license plate.
And then all of a sudden,
I'm telling.
It's true. And I wonder, like, you know, maybe they'll just be like, oh, they'll just start writing it down and sending it without any video and be like, I saw them on this day, this day, this day, this day.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. It's again, and it's, we've heard of these, you know, these books that have been written a long time ago talking about how bad our society could become in a way. And we do see some signs of things like that. And this is one of them. The idea of cameras everywhere, that's one of them. I think of Brave New World by Huxley. I think of George Orwell, 1984. And there are many more. Minority Report, you know, the movie. There's a lot. The Matrix. There's a lot of different movies and books. Hunger Games.
That's coming.
And you think, that's all fiction. Yeah, you think it's all fiction. But then you see certain signs of it, just even in our own city. Not to get, you know, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about.
But just how do they get there?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just we're seeing the steps.
Yeah. If you think this kind of thing
there.
is okay, you think this is okay, and then what's next? Exactly. As soon as you allow one thing, you open the door a little bit, the door can be wide open after that. So these speed traps, Mike says he hasn't heard anything about it. We spent millions of dollars from the city purchasing all these things and getting all these promises by this company that is promising us these speed cameras. What's holding this thing up? Like, bring it on or cancel it. You know what I mean?
It's just this corruption. Like, they just had this idea, and like, what's the company that got the money? What happened? Where's the equipment? And do they have the equipment? Can we resell the equipment and get back the money and put the money back in taxpayers' pockets?
Maybe there's another city that wants this thing, and we can just sell them for the cost we paid for them, and they'll take them. And we're fine. We just hired a bunch more police officers is one of the comments I saw on that post yesterday too, right? We hired a bunch more police officers. How about they just continue to do what's always been done? And I think the timing of this is interesting too. Remember what we just went through for the last 4 years?
Yeah, but nobody's talking about it.
So that's one thing. But at the same time, we're really concentrating on speeding and whatever when a lot of people were locked down in their homes for a good chunk of that last 4 years. Mm-hmm. Not even driving. So, like, the timing is weird. Like, I can see, we made this real big effort to concentrate on speeding when a lot of people were working from home or lost their jobs or were told they couldn't even go out.
From home.
Kind of thing.
Be less cars on the road.
Exactly. I just don't understand. It's just an odd thing, an odd fixation on something. Someone in a powerful position, or a few people, or a few squeaky wheels in the city, kind of thing. Like I said, just look at the likes compared to the angry emojis. Look at the comments, the people that are in favor of it compared to the ones that are not, and that'll give you a really good idea to where we stand.
It was an actual problem, they would be showing real stats, but they're not.
Well,
Nobody's showing real statistics of like there's more accidents happening right now,
and there's
more
none of
deaths
that
happening. So
no,
I'm
there's
not
definitely not that. For sure.
What I understand, Aaron, is if your argument, half of it isn't truthful or you're missing a part of your story, to me, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? What's really behind this initiative?
And the money cost too. Like you're saying, if you don't have all the data and you're going out and making a big decision about that, the cost is one thing in money. But what's the cost in terms of the culture of the city as well? The culture, like you said, community. Like if you feel the city's out to get you, that's why I feel about downtown. I can never park anywhere. And I start getting this grudge against the city when I'm trying to do my business downtown. No place to park. They're taking away parking spaces all the time, put flowers there. And then you put money in, and then you're 5 minutes late or whatever, you got a ticket on your car. And it's just like they're trying to penalize you for living in your own city. It's not good for that sense of how you feel about the city you live in.
At the same time, Aaron, they're like, oh, Sudbury downtown, you can do your shopping. Like literally, if you see the advertisement of downtown, it's mind blowing because it's like, do you guys actually go downtown? Do you realize that we should not be advertising the great downtown? And by just advertising the great downtown doesn't mean that it's great and it's a great place to go. Nobody feels safe to go there.
No, more. Again, if you look at comments of people, like it's cognitive dissonance. If you're just listening to the few people telling you one thing and you're missing the majority of other people saying another thing, it's social media is great for that. And that's why I think there's many people looking to shut down. They've already shut down news on social media because you can't have that. Yep. Because again, it's too easy to share and everyone can be in the know too fast. And so there are a few amount of people.
That's a good thing, Aaron.
Yeah, because...
But then we're saying that it's because it's a money thing. Oh, right, because it's all a money thing. It's not about community awareness. It's not about being safe. It's not about being in the know. It's all about money. I call BS on that.
Yeah.
Because if there's an article being shared, I'm going to go click on the article. I'm going to go click on the CBC article. I'm going to go click on these website articles. So I don't see why they're saying it's because Facebook's making all this money.
Nancy has an interesting comment about downtown.
Okay. You can get high for free downtown. Get your free crack pipes downtown. Yes.
Yeah. Because that's the reality. This is reality, right? Like,
that is a reality. I have some good news.
Go ahead.
So I shared you a video. My nephew, is from Sudbury. He is 8 years old, and he is the fastest downhill skier in the country. I'm saying the country right now, for sure, in Ontario and Quebec. Every race, he just did a race. Yeah. I think in North Bay. He was racing against 103, 8, 9, and 10. He's the youngest, and he won by 2 seconds.
Wow, he's the youngest, and he beat 103 people, and he's the fastest.
By 2 seconds. This guy is insane. He's so fast. And I'm just so proud of him. And he's from Sudbury, which is not like a skiing area. But my mom went and watched him. And there was ladies, and she's like, "Oh, I've been watching this guy for a really long time. He's so fast." And my mom's like, "Oh, that's my grandson." And it's just so cool. I thought I wanted to share some good news that we have this kid from Sudbury, and he's rocking it.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's so good. If you're a parent or a grandparent and your child or grandchild is like that, and there's no feeling like it, everyone's got to experience that at least once in life with one of their children or grandchildren, getting accolades, and you just hear, they don't know you're the grandmother or the father or whatever, and they're just telling you.
Him?
Exactly. Oh, this is the most amazing person. You're like, oh, they're my grandchild.
I know. So cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. Everyone's got to experience that at least once in life. And
his name's Xavier Gervais, and he has an Instagram. So Xavier with an X. If you guys want to go follow him, yeah.
See, I would say Xavier, but that's is that the English pronunciation?
Yeah, that is. Xavier would probably be easier because people would know it starts with an X. Cool. And in French, it's Xavier.
Oui.
It sounds like a Z, but it's an X.
So what started me off on this whole kick was trying to find out about these automated speed trap cameras. And if people weren't aware of it, so I was able to find a Sudbury.com reporter, but he was basically, because they also own Elliott Lake today or whatever. The article was there. So Sudbury delays automated speed traps. This is all the way back on November the 19th. They delay automated speed traps until December or January. And we're also now end of February, so they're still not here. Previously slated to be ticketing Greater Sudbury motorists by now, delays in required agreements has pushed automated speed traps implementation back a month or two. So this is the reason given by this particular reporter reporting on it, that it's because of delays in required agreements. I did pose to Mike Parent, there must be some legal thing here, because I don't know if this is absolutely legal, this idea of cameras automatically taking your plate and issuing you tickets as you're driving. I just think there's something there they have to deal with. Maybe other cities have, but I know there's something there. But anyways, so
maybe that's why it hasn't happened yet.
I'm thinking, because I just don't see it.
Because why hasn't this ever been like, remember red light cameras?
Yeah.
That's not legal, but now they're legal.
Kind of thing, right? They just have to change things around, move them around, change meanings of stuff, and then, bend things around. It's like accounting, You think accounting is very clear. It's math. It's just ones and zeros and whatever numbers and calculations, but it's not. Any accountant will tell you anyone's interpretation of accounting principles and whatever, and with the CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, an accountant dealing with them, there's all kinds of gray areas and things in there. And law is similar. It's your interpretation of it. There's precedents set by different cases. There's just different ways of massaging things in order to make it work. It looks like that possibly could be one of the reasons why the cameras are being delayed here. The city's 6 automated speed enforcement cameras won't begin snapping photos of speeding motorists' license plates until at this time, December or January, but we're also going into March now. City Acting Director of Linear Infrastructure Services. City Acting Director of Linear Infrastructure Services, Joe Rocca, provided the city's elected officials with an updated timeline way back in November, at which time he described a launch by January as likely based on where we are currently. Where are we, Joe? Where are we currently? What is this that's going on here? What are the actual documents that there's some red tape there that are delaying the speed cameras? Right? What are these documents? What's behind? What are the reasons? Right? The city entered into agreements with the city of Toronto to use its processing center to analyze the information the cameras capture to issue tickets, and Redflex to supply the cameras. They're currently waiting on the province of Ontario to allow them access to license plate information. So there might be one of the reasons for the delay. Waiting for the province of Ontario to give them access to license plate information. So again, legalities, right? What are the laws behind all of this? How is it going to work out? Very complex. Signs for the first 6 affected locations have already been up. We've seen them for quite some time now, several weeks, as provincial legislation requires the municipality to install signs alerting motorists to speed trap locations at least 90 days prior to enforcement. The first 6 locations are, we know from sharing it before, but in case you weren't aware, Bellevue Avenue, Algonquin Road, Falconbridge Road, Main Street in Valcarron, Hillcrest Drive, and Gary Avenue. So they say in this article where they are on the streets, but people can just Google that and get that information. Fan or not, Nick, of the speed cameras? Something that's going to keep you safer on the roads?
I'm not pro camera. Nope, I'm not. I got a ticket by a police officer. And I've slowed down my speeding. I think the whole situation, they slow you down. It's important. You have a conversation. But if a camera just gives me a ticket, I don't even know I got a speeding, and then I get it in the mail. There's no like.
And how do you fight it? Like, how do you fight these tickets? Because you can fight a ticket by a police officer, right? So what's the process with fighting one of these? Like how is this all going to work? You know. So Mike says, City of Ottawa currently has 40 cameras and are adding 25 more annually over the next 2 years. So
just because everybody else is doing it, we should do it too.
Ottawa.
That doesn't say anything. It's just like, we're turning into a communist country, guys. This is what's happening. Like, it's China, duh. And it's just more control where they're not really helping the people with mental health. They're not really doing much. But they're spending all these millions and millions and millions of dollars literally just controlling us. Like, I don't know how people aren't seeing this. And I get it that they're doing in other places, but it doesn't make it right.
It's true. If you use that as an example, they're doing it, again, maybe because I pose the questions of legalities, and obviously if they're doing it in Ottawa. But speaking of a legal place and people bending the rules, that's probably a really good example of it. That's the most investigated prime minister in Canadian history. And possibly, if it would have been any other time in history, he'd probably be in jail at this time for things that he's done and is doing currently. I'll go on record as saying that. We'll look back at what I said for in the future. So I don't know. Ottawa, that's a whole different can of worms. Too many people just really don't know. So Nick was nice enough to, and along with our friend Dave, provide a really great weekend for my wife and I just recently, which included a day at the spa, which I've never been to a spa in my life. And so it was awesome. So thank you publicly and for Nick, and Dave. So while we're in the spa, though, there's another couple there, and we're like, hey, this is our first time. We're like, oh, we do this all the time. You got to visit Ottawa, because the spa in Ottawa is like unbelievable. It's like
my favorite place on earth, the Nordique.
the Nordic Spa in Chelsea, I think it was, right? So
Yes.
just outside of Ottawa. It's where
Yep.
all the rich people kind of live and whatever. Well, there's a lot of people, a lot of places where rich people live around Ottawa. So they said, they were there one time, and I guess it was during a time when a lot of the people from Ottawa, there's a day off or something like that, and so it was a little busier than it used to be. So this spa was saying, we're busier than we've ever been today. And they didn't even notice it. They was working like a well-oiled machine for this couple, and they were having a wonderful time at the spa. But there was this one guy who was just ranting and raving, going, I can't believe it. How dare you? Like, I've never in my life been treated so poorly. And they said, yeah, that's just Ottawa. They're entitled there. They just feel entitled. They feel everyone owes them something. It's, it's just they live in this bubble. If you think the municipality lives in a bubble, like that's bubble beyond bubble. Like that's like they don't know reality one bit. Like they're just so used to their government jobs and, there's money, endless money, no accountability. And then that starts breeding more of that culture. And eventually it just turns into a big welt, a big sore with pus. And so, yeah, that's my kind of interpretation of Ottawa.
It's true. I loved Ottawa for a long time, and then traffic just got crazy. Like I just don't like it anymore. I used to love it, and then I left and I came to Sudbury and I realized how cool and chill Sudbury is, and now I go back to Ottawa and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I hate this traffic. I hate the highway. I hate this. I'm just so excited to come back home, and people just don't see me as a little small town girl, but I love my small town. But I always misspell my nephew's name, and this is like a really bad thing for me, but this is his Instagram.
Hang on, I'll put it on full screen here for everybody. There you go.
It's with a Z, not an X. So go follow him on Instagram. It'll make him so happy. His mom doesn't know he has an Instagram. This is my brother that's just doing his gram. But
You're outing him on the live stream.
I know. But go follow him. He is just so awesome. It'll make his day. So my brother literally just called me while I was talking about him. He's like, we're going to Adanac. Let's
cool.
come with us. So I might do
right
that.
On.
Who knows? I've been off sick all week.
You'll have to race
it.
You'll have to race him.
But I snowboard. It's different.
Oh, okay. Well, you can race him
And
on your snowboard.
I'm not racing him. He's gonna kill me.
Well, thanks, Nick, for being with us today. Really appreciate that. And it was kind of a last minute thing. You're just like, hey, I'm going to be on today, which we really appreciate.
It wasn't last minute in my mind. I knew I was coming here today.
Okay, good. And you're welcome anytime, as usual. And we'll be on same time, same place, from the same studio on Monday. So hopefully CKLU, they've been dealing with Laurentian University has been hacked and their internet is down. They weren't even working yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, Aaron, isn't this happening all over the world right now? We're being hacked and China's going to hack our grid. Guys, I'm telling you right now, the grid's shutting down. Like, go get yourself a sauna. I got a hookup. Message me if you want a sauna.
Okay, there you go.
And you want hot water. It's just good. Like, if the grid comes down.
You want a sauna to be in if there's no internet, right? Definitely. That's what I would want. No internet, head to the sauna. Well, thanks, everyone. Again, and thanks, Nick, for being with us today. I wish we had more positive stuff to talk about other than being all crotchety and whatever about the city's decisions, how they want to proceed with managing our traffic in town. So the one question I wanted to ask you, and just really briefly in like 10 seconds, do you feel unsafe when you get in your car and you go on Sudbury roads right now? Like, do you feel there needs to be something done? Do you feel unsafe driving in the city?
No, I don't.
Okay, I don't either. So there's a poll of 2, if it's worth anything. How about let's go door to door and get everybody to weigh in on this, not just the people that are the haters, and see who actually wants this, who actually feels unsafe. And I bet you it's a small minority of people that feel unsafe.
I would understand in like subdivisions, get stricter in the subdivision.
Yeah, but not on main roads.
I go a little too fast in the subdivision. I would understand that. But on the main roads, on the highway.
Yeah, that's me too. Same thing. Okay, well, we'll see what it is. We don't have, we can still back out of this deal saying, hey, it's not happening. So let's just put it on pause, like they're doing with MAID, killing people with mental illness. Like they've realized, hey, people aren't ready for this yet. We got to wait till they're a little more saturated with our propaganda before they'll accept killing your 15-year-old with depression kind of thing without your parental signing off on it.
The world is mad. It's mad.
It is. Okay. Be back Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great weekend, Nick. Thanks again. Ciao, everyone. Have a great weekend.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.